Hey everybody, Scott Jansen here. Welcome to today's video. So in this video, I want to talk to you about how to sell your hypnotherapy and coaching sessions and packages without dealing with objections and to obviously get more yeses. So for any good hypnotherapist or coach, we understand the value of sales. Now, for a lot of people, the word sales seems a bit sleazy, it seems a bit scary, but it is really a fundamental tool to take you where your business is now to getting more predictability and obviously making more money. So when it comes to the idea of selling, there's one thing I want to share with you guys that's going to teach you how to sell your hypnotherapy and coaching sessions and packages with a lot more ease. So we recommend for coaches and hypnotherapists to actually do what are called strategy calls. Some call them clarification calls, some call them clarity calls. And essentially what this is to give the option to your potential clients for a 45-minute to a 1-hour phone call with you so you can discuss their problem, you can discuss their solution, you can talk to them about what you do, you can make sure that this person that you're speaking to before they actually pay you is the right fit for you, they're looking for the right solution that you can offer, and also to deal with any objections. And at the same time of doing this, it always seems that when therapists and coaches get to the point of actually closing the sale, getting to the end to actually talk about what they do and offer their price, it seems like for most people, they freeze up and they don't know how to transition. So one thing you guys can do, and think of this like almost like a psychological trick to not only help you make more sales as a coach or a hypnotherapist, but also ease any anxiety that you have to actually make a sale. And the way you can actually do this is to actually put into action something that I call releasing the attachment from yes. So what does this actually mean? Well, releasing the attachment to yes basically means that when you're doing a strategy call, don't think about you're trying to sell to this person. Get it out of your mind that you're looking for a yes. Stop thinking about, well, if I don't get this yes, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, I'm not going to make any money. You want to release all that attachment before you actually get on the strategy call. So the way that we teach strategy calls to our 100K coaching students and also our Therapy Maximizer students, even beyond giving them the physical script, is I talk to them about releasing the attachment from yes. What happens when we're so consumed by making a sale, we actually blow it. We actually try and steer the conversation the way that we want it to just to get money at the end. And we lose that connection with our client, and our client doesn't feel heard. They don't feel like they can discuss their problem properly. They don't feel like you're actually hearing them or that you can solve whatever issue they have. Because while you're so consumed by making the sale, they're consumed by talking about their hurt and their pain and the solution. So by releasing the attachment to yes, guys, what we essentially want to do with any type of strategy call or clarity call is to actually just analyze what our client's talking about, is to actually block out all distraction, get out of your head for a while, almost like the same way you'd set yourself up before you actually do a therapy or a coaching session, not to assume anything, not to try and steer the conversation in any way, but ask fundamental questions about your client's problem. What's happening in their life? Why is it a problem? How is it a problem? And then start to discuss their future, like what's it going to be like for you to have or not have X, Y, and Z? Why do you want to do this? What's your motivation? Why have you decided right now that this is the time to finally give up smoking or lose the weight? And you want to talk your client through these fundamental questions without thinking about making a sale. You want to make sure that you've analyzed all the questions your client asks you, and you want to make sure you've analyzed all the answers that your client's giving to you in return. Because if you don't do this, and all you're thinking about is making the sale, you're trying some fancy NLP or hypnotic language that just sounds bizarre and doesn't really do anything. By the time you get to the end to transition to the sale, of course your client's going to say no because you haven't been listening to them. And without having listened to them, you're now at a point where you're going to have to deal with dozens of objections that could have been destroyed through the actual conversation of the strategy call. I know for a fact that our top earning students, the ones that are doing 10, 20, 30, even $50,000 per month, are releasing the attachment from yes. They're focusing on getting their client on a phone call or over Zoom or something like this and analyzing their client's problem, making sure that they, as the therapist or a coach, is the exact right fit for that person that they're selling to on the phone. Because if your client is the right fit, guys, and you can offer them the solution and almost back it up with some sort of proof, or almost like a semi-guarantee, You don't even really have to sell. It's an easy transition for your client at the end to say, well, you know what, that's my problem. You've got the solution. Here's my money. How do I book you in? If you're having to do the hard sell, it's because you're being too consumed by getting that yes in the first place. You want to release all that attachment from yes, and you want to have a quality conversation with somebody. And if at the end you find that your solution is not the right fit, that's actually a great thing as well. The last thing you want to do, guys, is get a client in just to make the sale, then realize you can't give them their promised result, and then a few days later they're calling you, getting their money back. So even when I'm doing strategy call, guys, for our very expensive program, it doesn't mean that I'm accepting everybody into that call. I'm not accepting everybody even into the program, because sometimes my program and my solution does not fit the type of client that I'm talking to. And if I was to sell to them, or some sort of miracle happened where I was pushing for a yes and they said yes and everything was great, within a week or so of being in my program, they would turn around and say, well, this is not what I want. I don't want what you're telling me. I wanted this, but now you're telling me I need to do this. This is not the right fit for me, Scott. We need to have another conversation. So to not deal with any of that rubbish, any refunds or anything like this, guys, your point of call when you're doing strategy calls or clarity calls or sales calls, whatever you want to call them, is stop going for the yes. Analyze deeply the client's answers and the questions that you have for them. Make sure you answer all the questions they have. So by the end of the phone call comes and you say, well, this is what I can do for you. It cost $1,000, $3,000, $5,000. Some of our students are doing $10,000 programs. A client is ready. They've got their credit card ready to go because you've dealt with all the objections along the way. You've actually listened to this person instead of try to steer the conversation to suit the outcome, which is the yes for you. So guys, when you're going into your next call, your next clarity call or your strategy call, forget about the yes. Don't try and steer the conversation. If your client says no, who cares? If they say yes, who cares? All of that stuff will sort itself out. The more you listen through the phone call, the more objections you deal with through the phone call, the easier the transition becomes at the end, and you really don't have to do this thing called selling. If you're having to hard sell to all your clients, you're having to say them, you know, if you don't sign up now, your life's going to be a misery for the rest of your life. You know, I'm not going to give you the discount. Or you're trying to add too many bonuses, like you can get this one for free, then I'll include this if you say yes. If you're trying to do that hard selling nonsense, it's because the strategy call that you've just gone through, you've not been listening to your client. You haven't dealt with those objections. So guys, like I said, going to your next calls, release the attachments from yes. You'll find that the sale, the transition, offering your price, talking to your clients will be a lot easier without all the anxiety or all the pressure on you or the person on the phone. Because as we realize, guys, these clients also know that a strategy call is a sales call. They know they're going to get sold to the end. But make it so clear to this client that you have been listening, you've dealt with all their objections, you've answered all their questions, and you've made sure that you're the right fit for them and they're the right fit for you. And it makes the process so much easier, so much nicer, and your clients will definitely appreciate it as well. So before we end the video, guys, in about 24 hours from now, for those who don't know, we have a 90-minute live marketing webinar happening tomorrow. It is at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's a free marketing webinar. It's going to be 90 minutes. There's going to be an awesome gift for actually showing up to the webinar. I'm going to be showing you the 3 biggest secrets that my students right now are doing daily to attract $1,000 to $5,500 clients without worrying about funnels, paid ads, free sessions, anything like this. If you haven't registered for this, make sure you do. To get the registration link, just comment in the box below with the word, let's go with registration. So I'll get the notification from Facebook and I'll make sure I send you out that registration link, and you guys can join us tomorrow in about 24 hours for this awesome webinar that we've put together. So guys, hope that made sense. Hope that answered any questions. I've had a lot of questions of people asking me about sales. This is the one big psychological trick that I use myself, that I teach my students, and it's literally to release the attachment from yes and go into each phone call as more of an analysis rather than closing a sale. So guys, look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the webinar. If not, have an awesome weekend, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye for now.